this is the AC charger. So that's where you'll plug in at your caravan park or your home, and your 240 input will come in from there. So when your batteries reach a high voltage, it will turn off the charge for about 10 minutes, and once the battery voltage comes to a level that is safe, it will turn the chargers back on and they'll continue to charge your batteries. So you can leave your van in storage plugged into the 240, and the battery monitoring system will monitor the batteries, keep them at a safe voltage so they don't overheat, and we don't have any issues in that respect. You'll also need to know that when your batteries reach a low state of charge, the latching relay will activate or deactivate, and the switch will pop up. Now this will happen every 6 minutes until you put your van on charge, and then once you depress that, the batteries reach a good state of charge or a higher state of charge, that will stay active and it won't pop up. You'll also need to know where your fuses are for your battery monitoring system, and they are here and here. This blade fuse here is a 10 amp, and this is the fuse for the relay driver. So if you have a short or a fault there, all the lights will turn off. This won't stay on, and you'll have to replace that fuse. This fuse here is a glass tube fuse. It's a 1 amp fuse. You just untwist that and you can change that, and that's actually the power for your battery monitoring system display, which is located on the control panel. So if that turns off, this also will pop up every 6 minutes because it can't monitor the batteries, so it'll register as a fault and you'll need to locate the fuse and replace it if it turns off. The other fuses you'll need to know about are the fuses for your chargers. So you got your DC to DC, which is this one over here. So your Anderson and solar feed, and it's a resettable fuse. It's a 40 amp resettable fuse, and when it is popped and the circuit is opened, you'll have to reset it by pressing in the little black button there, or you'll have to replace the fuse if it's damaged in some way. Now the AC charger, or your 240 charge, so this charger here, so the AC fuse is this one, and it's a MIDI fuse style, 50 amp. You should have a spare fuse located in this area. It'll be zip tied to the wire, so for your convenience you can swap that out. Now it's a quick blow fuse, so if there's any kind of short or the wire gets too hot, that fuse will blow to protect your battery wiring. The next fuse is another resettable. This fuse is protecting your wiring for the accessories fuse box, and there are also your blade fuses located in each of these fuse boxes. So you've got those, which is all your accessories. So your internal lights, your waste indicators, your 12-volt sockets, front box light, and your waste pump, etc. are located there. And then your 24-hour or your constant power, which you can only turn this off by turning the latching relay off, which is over here. This one. So again, blade fuses are located in there, and you should have some spare ones which are fitted to the top of the cover. Now back to the accessories fuse box. The switch for your accessories is located on the control panel. So latching relay controls your constant, and your accessory switch controls your accessories. And that's actually switching the battery guard. And you'll notice that there's a blue light that comes on or off depending on if your accessories is on or off. The last fuse you need to know about is the fuse for your inverter. Now this is a mega fuse, and because the system is a 1000 watt inverter, it's got a 150 amp mega fuse. You just have to make sure whenever you're changing any of the fuses in the system, you want to turn everything off. Make sure your AC charger is not receiving charge from your shore, and you can actually turn that off at a power point, which is located in the seat module here in a matrix and a Q+. Later model matrix vans have the toggle switches, and the accessory switches labelled mains. So this will switch your accessories, and you can see on this control panel for the Lithium system, and the display, you can cycle through the display by using the arrow keys, and it will show you your different values. The first one you'll see here is the current voltage of your battery. The next screen shows the current load that is being used. Now, because the van isn't on charge, it is showing the discharge of 6.5 amps, and I will show you when it's on charge how it changes. The next screen is showing your amp hours since the battery was full. So far it's used 8.6 amps over the time that it's been not being charged. The next screen shows your battery's current percent and your remaining hours of use at the current amps, or what you've currently switched on. You've got your 32 hours left before the battery reaches its low state of charge, which is about 24%. So since I've been plugged the van into the 240 AC power, you'll notice that the arrow is pointing into the battery, which is your symbol that the batteries are receiving charge, whether that's through your solar or your 240 volt. But as long as your charge is greater than your discharge, you'll see that arrow going in. So showing our volts should be still about the same. Now our amps are greater, our charge amps is greater than the discharge, so you're not seeing the discharge amps anymore, you're seeing the charge amps. So we've got 33.2 amps coming in minus what amps you're using, and again the amp hours are still about the same. And that's our battery percentage, which would have gone up slightly since we last showed you the screen before. And until the battery reaches 100% or you take it off charge, it can't calculate the remaining amp hours because you're on charge, so you can use it indefinitely basically. So with everything off in the van, as the latching relay off, you'll notice that you'll have about 0.1 to 0.3 amps showing as a discharge, and that's basically your ePro, the battery monitoring system. That's how much charge it's using. Now, this can be a little bit out sometimes, but we can reset those values if you need them reset. This is our current model control panel, and you'll see here there's the ACC or the accessories switch, which is turning your accessories on and off. This is your access port for your RCDs, for your 240. So here are your RCDs. This is showing them open or they're off. You flick both of them up and that is closing the circuit, so it's active. You'll have one labelled inverter and the other will be labelled mains.